Alright guys, we are back once again, this time round for the side EZA of Strength Whis. So good, I've decided to give him his own dedicated video. He is indeed Rainbow. I've even given him more dodge in the dupe system, not as much because he doesn't really need it, but why not? Not level 10 links because his EZA did kind of come out of nowhere-ish, if you will. So I've only managed to get him to like a midpoint of level 5 and level 6. We're back on the same team. We do have a Beerus friend, of course, because that is literally his best friend. Although we do have the super EZA as well. And he is starting with a 667k attack stat with 322k defense. But who cares when you have the amount of dodge that he can possibly get? So he is starting with key plus 2, 250% attack and defense. He has a 70% chance to dodge and 40% damage reduction. And then we have Int Beerus' Scouter that we currently have active for a few turns, which can compare really nicely with the Strength Whis, because with the amount of extra dodge Whis can get, or just having base 70% chance anyway, you can sit there and go, well, especially if you have two of these, and then eventually these guys are Scouter from turn 5, you can go, well, a super attack's coming from slot 1. Is there a slot 1 unit here available? Yeah, Beerus can handle that with a nullification. There might be one in slot 2 or slot 3. Let me put Whis where that one is, and then he can try and dodge that because he has so much dodge chance. Or you can go, well, we get a ton of dodge. Maybe Int Beerus isn't here, or you have two of them, or whatever the rotation setup is. And you can go, well, do you know what? I'm going to try my luck and pop him in slot 1, and he can dodge both of them. So he works really well with that setup. And speaking of extra dodge chance, for every attack evaded, Whis is going to get 100% defense, flat, and a chance to evade enemy's attack by 5% within the turn. So that will take him up to at least 75% dodge chance and above. And then not only that as well, because there is a Realm of Gods category enemy, or if there was, shall I say, he would actually get an extra 10%, which unfortunately we don't get right now. But if we were facing one, of course he would. And I'm actually going to take the chance. I'm going to let him sit in slot 1 and hopefully dodge both of those Super Saiyan 4 Daima Goku supers. He's already dodged the normal, so that's an extra 5% dodge chance. There it is again. And there is the 25.4 million attack stat. Not the most amount of damage, but I mean, for a side EZA that has a ton of dodge, are you expecting him to drop 50, 60, 70 million? No, that is not what Whis is here for. Whis is here to give out a bit of support, super attack a few times, which, to be fair, will actually give him a decent amount of combined damage. And of course, his main job, as it says on the tin, is that right there. Dodge. And then because Super Saiyan 4 Daima Goku launched a super attack at Whis, after the enemy launches a super attack at the character, he will have guaranteed evasion within that turn, which means no matter what, he was going to dodge that first super attack and perform a crit and launch a guaranteed additional for 4 turns. So again, if you have Int Beerus, if you have one as a friend, if you have two, no matter the setup, if you have Int Beerus' Scouter early on, you can partner it up with Strength Whis and go, do you know what? A super attack is coming from here. Whether that means anyone else on a rotation can dodge it, tank it, you can go, do you know what? Let me put Strength Whis in the way of that because he can guarantee dodge it. One time. So again, Strength Whis works hand in hand so well with Int Beerus' Scouter. Again, whether you have your own and a dual setup going on, you're using just one of your own, you're using a friend's one like I am right now, and this isn't even on his best setup, just like Super EZA, LR Beerus and Whis, so I don't have my own God Goku or Int Beerus. You can literally sit there on the first turn where a lot of units are at their most vulnerable, at their weakest, and go, we're going to get super attacks in slot 1. We're going to get super attacks in slot 2 or 3. Put Whis there. Put Whis there. And you have nothing to worry about. So, carrying on with his passive, when attacking he does get 250% attack and defense, with him being a side EZA and essentially just not being as beefed up as like typical Dokkan Fest, LRs, etc. The stats are nice. However, he's going to be putting out 25 million plus attack stats. Nothing too crazy. And then not only that, for every attack evaded, he is getting 50% attack up to 250. So he does have a little bit of build-up going on, which, I mean, he did dodge everything there. I think it was about 4 attacks, but I'd have to double-check that. So he will get a bit stronger. And then when there's an ally whose name includes Beerus attacking in the same turn, which, of course, again, Int Beerus, whether that is your own, friend, double, the Super EZA LR Beerus and Whis. Whis will then get Key +2, a guaranteed additional super, which again, the amount of times this Whis can actually super attack is actually pretty solid all in all. So you actually get some okay damage out of him. Again, nothing crazy, but some pretty decent damage nonetheless for a side EZA. But then more importantly, all allies 70% attack for 2 turns. When you think about the team you're going to be running on, which is primarily Realm of Gods, you've got the Super EZA for Int Blue Vegeta, who has also given out Realm of Gods support. You've got Carnival LRUI. You've got, again, I've mentioned him so many times already, Int Beerus. You've got potentially a friend Int Beerus, the Super EZA LR Beerus and Whis. You've got Super EZA UI Goku, the Blue Boys from GDC. You've got the New God Goku. So many great Realm of God units can benefit from his support, which again, 2 turns, by the way. Yes, it's only attack, but 70% for 2 turns. Combined with any other Realm of Gods or support that you have on the team. Because it lasts for 2 turns. Pretty sick. It's pretty sick. So how many attacks has he dodged so far? He's actually dodged 3. So he only needs to dodge, what, 5? Not 5 more. He needs to dodge 5 in total. So he needs to dodge 2 more. And he's actually got some full build-up. Hence the 1.6 million attack stat. He's fairly decently linked up as well. No Cold Judgment. Such a great link. You get so much extra defense, but no one kind of really to put him with. And then hopefully Whis feels like dodging again. Because that's exactly what I need from you. Is this taking a massive risk? Yes, but considering the amount of extra dodge this guy's got, kind of willing to take the risk. There's another one. 29.9 we're up to, and on super attack he's greatly raising defense by 50% as well. And then when and where we can do it, you can greatly lower attack and defense by 30% and seal when and where you can use it. So again, the amount of supers that Whis can actually do, and don't forget he's got a guaranteed additional and crit for 4 turns because we had the guaranteed dodge from the super. So again, the amount of times he can actually super attack is pretty decent. As I said, is he putting out crazy numbers? No, and I mean, you don't expect it from a side EZA. You know, is he doing like Super EZA, Beerus and Whis type damage? No. But like a 29-30 mil super attack 3-4 times, especially with guaranteed crit for 4 turns, it ends up adding up, I'm not gonna lie. But then also for having a Beerus attacking in the same turn, he also recovers 15% HP at the end of turn, which is also quite nice to have. Again, that isn't a one-time thing or anything. You just have that as long as there is a Beerus in the same turn, which is great for no item runs. Then as I mentioned earlier, when there's a Realm of Gods category enemy, which unfortunately there isn't, but if there is, which there aren't too many if we're being really real, so hopefully there'll be some future content where there is, Whis is actually going to be your best friend because he's going to give you an extra 10% chance to dodge, which means on a basis against a Realm of Gods category enemy, Whis will have a total of 80% chance to dodge. And then any extra dodge you give him from the hidden potential system to then potentially, you know, skill orbs. Sure, it doesn't combine on top, but you'll also have that to depend on as well, which I think is pretty nice. And when there are no Realm of Gods category enemies like we're facing now, he does actually have an extra 100% attack and defense. So, while not exactly the same situation as Super EZA, Beerus and Whis, where if there is, you get 10% chance to dodge, if there isn't, you get stats. How do I put this? Because it kind of sounds quite backward. While I don't think Whis is at a detriment, like I'm not sitting here being like, oh my god, he really needs that 10% chance to dodge, or like he really needs the 100% attack and defense. These are the ones that I kind of don't like. Like it's not the be-all and end-all for Whis, so I don't mind it too much, but come on, of course we want that extra 10% chance to dodge because that's 80% chance to dodge. Is it going to make a massive difference? No, which is why I don't mind it. However, of course, it's simple, quick math. Boom. You'd rather 80% chance dodge than 70. But I'd also like the extra stats as well. But as I said, is it like a detriment? Is it a be-all and end-all that Whis needs the 10% chance to dodge? Does he need the extra stats? Not really, but as I said, they'll both be nice to have. So as I said, that part kind of annoys me, especially because there isn't really a Realm of Gods category enemy in the game right now. So where are you realistically getting that 10% chance to dodge from? I mean, sure, there's Ultra Super Villain God Vegeta, but then sure, you can go back and replay it, but you know, we kind of need some more Realm of Gods enemies is where I'm going with this. But in terms of our 4 turns, I think we have one more turn of him having guaranteed crit and a guaranteed additional, and then we're done. But we're actually up to a 2.55 million attack stat, which for a side EZA, pretty sick. And again, these are all at level 5 and level 6 links. So, fair play. And this is also not even on a full best lead possible. This is on a 220 lead and an Int Beerus lead. And he's, for a side EZA, doing or starting the term of 2.5 mil. Which is pretty sick. And again, he's about to get 250 attack and defense when attacking. And we've actually got quite a juiced up rotation, because we're going to have his support for having a Beerus next to us anyway, which doesn't say self-excluded, so he actually does get that. We've also got Realm of God support from Super EZA Int Vegeta as well. So this is a pretty juiced up rotation. Someone test us for doping, because we got all the juice going on right now. Is it worth the squeeze? Dodge for me, please. Look at him go! Look at him go! 44 mil though! Aye. If you build him up quick enough, again, with all of his possible additionals, he can actually do some good damage. 44 mil with a decent amount of chance to crit is pretty solid. Hey, as I said, if you build him up quick enough, he's actually doing good damage with all the additionals and crit. Now, of course, the biggest downside to him, with any dodge unit, if he doesn't dodge those supers, we die. Runs over, game over, done and dusted. But it's very fun to watch him do that. And to be fair, Whis can kind of contend with probably the majority of normals in the game, you know. We're putting him in slot 1 just because, I mean, to be fair, he hasn't let us down so far. But realistically, he's probably going to be in slot 2, slot 3. Unless you're really, really willing to take the risk. If you're willing to risk it for that chocolate biscuit, which sometimes you got to, you know, chocolate biscuits are quite tasty. You know, and you put them in slot 1. But with at least 1 or 2 super attacks, that's 50% defense raise each time. Then any of the extra ones in his passive, then the hidden potential system, again, 50% defense each time, along with 40% damage reduction. His dodge, but if he doesn't, those extra stats for attacking, 250 attack and defense, 100% attack and defense if it's not a Realm of Gods category enemy. He could probably contend with most normals in the game as well, post-super, if we're being really realistic. But overall, I'd have to say, which is kind of crazy, he's probably one of the better EZAs to come out of this year. Just because he has so much dodge chance, he's on a very good category. Like, Realm of Gods has been buffed so much. Works really well with the new Dokkan first. Works really well with the Super EZA. And he just has a lot of dodge with great support. And has actually putting out some solid numbers himself. So, dare I say, might be one of the better EZAs to come out of the big 2026. But you can let me know your thoughts down in the comments. I'll see you in the next video, guys. Take care of the rest of your day. And peace.